Welcome back, ballroom dance friends. Today's topic, how much should you practice? And so I'm going to share some advice today based on mistakes that I made over the years. So first of all, exponentially more important than how much you practice is when you practice. So straight out of the chute, it would be fabulous if you can practice as soon as possible after your lessons. Okay, guys? So personal story. My partner would often burn out on ballroom dancing. And I never did, but in his defense, we would fly out to lessons and we would take, up to 10 a day. And so we danced hardcore to the point that our feet were killing us. By the time we got home, we would do this for 10 days straight, to fly to London or New York or wherever. And he would insist on taking a break after those coachings. And honestly, guys, by the time we came back, the information's gone. So dance is not like a college course where you can just take notes all term and then cram at the end of the semester. That is not how muscle memory works, so guys. It's a long-term haul. It's repeating that movement as soon as you feel it or as soon as you can, and then repeating it over and over. Otherwise, guys, the practice is useless if you're just practicing something you didn't learn, and heaven forbid you're committing bad movement to muscle memory. Okay, guys? Now, related to this, if your partner does cancel on you, I recommend you show up to practice anyway alone. I did, and I feel that benefited me a great deal. Because I know it feels like in a partnership, you are one unit, and certainly you are. But dance partnerships tend to be more like a dating relationship, a little more ephemeral, comes and goes, way I trowed another one, versus an actual marriage. So the better you individually you can become as a dancer, it's going to create a better partner for your partner and extend that partnership. And B, it's going to make you a better dancer and more marketable to other future partners, because we never know what the future holds, guys, okay? So next up, in my personal experience, what I did was practice 2 hours a day, 7 days a week, without exception. I don't care if I was sick. Honestly, guys, if I were to do it all over again, well, I probably would, because I was a total dance addict. But in terms of a learning curve and retaining the most out of your lessons long-term, that's the best for your long-term dancing, I would recommend taking it back a notch. And this depends actually on how the dancer learns. And each student is different, but I find the vast majority of students kind of get the max value out of their dancing, and I see the best result during that lesson, okay? And it kind of degrades over time. Even if they're practicing each day, it is natural for us to resort back to our old muscle memory, okay? And no one learns perfectly out of the chute. We all started as dead beginners with left foot, right foot, clumping around. And so there is a constant evolution and growth and improvement in your dancing. So it will change with time if you're getting better. And we don't want to fall back on those old habits, which for me, unfortunately, I was at a disadvantage in that I had to fly to all of my lessons and cram, and I could wait as long as a month to get more lessons. Although cumulatively, I was taking more lessons than almost everyone I knew, they were crammed. So this is not ideal. It's best to spread out those lessons and then do a little practice versus a boatload of lessons and then long periods of nothingness where you just practice and hope that you're repeating it the same way you did, that 1 week. Okay, guys. So for most couples, I would recommend a max of 2 hours of practice per hour of instruction. Now, this again does vary per dancer. Okay. Another benefit, guys, to maybe not doing those marathon runs of practice like I did daily, it would have helped me not have a partner who suffered burnout. I would say, he actually was suffering burnout long before he started competing in bouts of just, I don't want to feel like dancing anymore. But it definitely, I would say, degraded over the course of our partnership and me kind of pushing. So if your partner needs a break and doesn't want to practice that day, hey, cool. You know what? Dance on your own, practice on your own. I did, and I benefited greatly from it in the short term and the long term, okay? I also feel with those super long practices, a dance practice a good practice takes just as much of attention span, of patience, that a regular private lesson would take, okay? And so if at the end of a 2-hour practice, you can be a little bit short-tempered, and that does not cultivate a really positive, the best long-term partnership. And honestly, guys, in my opinion, getting along as a partnership is going to pay off more dividends in the end than dancing well together, because I have seen plenty of couples who together dance like magic, but really want to spit in each other's faces, and the partnerships inevitably break up and they got to start from ground zero anyway. Whereas if they just would have run with that partner that maybe wasn't initially as skilled, they would have got a lot farther, faster in their dancing, okay? So those shorter practices, it's just a little easier to show grace, patience, and even the short-term memory. There's no way you're going to remember everything solid for 2 hours. It is going to slowly degrade over time, okay? Trust me, I get it if you need that ballroom dance fix every single day. I'm still there. But you can scratch that little itch in other ways. You know what? Go to social dances 7 days a week. Sample group classes. It does not matter if it's a beginner's group class. You will improve your balance and your sensitivity to your partner and your ability to lead and follow. As I previously shared, group classes are an awesome, cheap opportunity to learn the other part. If you lead, learn how to follow, and vice versa. It will make you a better partner. Okay? Social dancing. It really puts a bee in my craw when I've heard some competitors be, in my opinion, arrogant. And, I don't social dance because they can't follow me, or they pull me around, or they're going to hurt me. This is ludicrous. If you are a good dancer, you will learn, even as a follow, if you're a little petite follow like me, to manipulate your partner in a way that feels great to them and feels great to you. That's not going to happen like magic, dancing with one person all the time. So honestly, guys, when my partner and I, we loved dance camps. You go to a dance camp at a comp, we never once danced with each other at these things. Like, we already know what it's like to dance with each other. We would dance solo, or we would dance with other dancers. And our partnership improved exponentially faster as a consequence of doing that. So I highly encourage it. You know what? Even a beginner's class, big benefit. Even a social dance, say you're doing some totally other style like West Coast swing, it's still going to improve your balance, your partnering, your learning curve in learning how to give your partner feedback and what you need to feel from them. I promise you that, guys, okay? I know it's counterintuitive and you think, oh, I'm better than those people. Psh, that's ridiculous, okay? Finally, I do find there is a minority of students who learn, but they actually dance better after their lesson than during the lesson. So it takes them a while to kind of osmose and digest the information that they receive in that lesson. But I have seen there's just some people that learn a little differently. We're not machines, we're all different, where they dance pretty good in the lesson, and then I see them 3 days later and they're nailing whatever they kind of grasped last time. Now, when someone learns like that, obviously, I'm going to give them different advice in terms of practice. Hey, practice, till your heart's fulfilled, and I'm confident that type of learner is going to not be hurt by that crazy amounts of practice time. And friends, I do not know you personally. And I know my students personally, but I would still give them each individual, unique, custom-tailored advice. So don't take my word for what I'm saying in the video. Just take the big picture and then ask your teacher, hey, I learned. How much practice do you think I should be doing each day? You know what? If they say none, don't be offended. Maybe they think you are going to just mess something up when you go home. If they say 50 hours a week, as much as you can, well, maybe you're that kind of in the minority of learners and you actually improve more just by kind of genuflecting and thinking about it later. So that's my 2 cents on practicing. I hope that has been helpful. Guys, if you have suggestions, hey, please comment below. I would love to hear what's worked for you or what your coaches have recommended to you, because I am but one person. And obviously my coaching advice is based on my own personal dance experience and the clientele that I have personally had over the years, but we are all unique people. We all love hearing your stories, including me, because it is a huge world of ballroom dancers and all of us have a kind of a unique, special experience. So if you have questions, ask below. If you thought today's video was helpful, definitely hit the thumbs up button so I feel good about what I posted and that you actually found it to be helpful or at least interesting. And if you have questions, please post. It makes my videos so easy to make when I know what you want to hear, okay? So thank you for joining me today. And if you enjoy all things ballroom dance, hey, hit that subscribe button. And I look forward to seeing you in the morning. Toodles!